What's going on, everybody? C4, welcome back to the channel, and we are back here live on the main channel, pay-per-view, with our Philadelphia Eagles live game reactions and post-game grades. Now, I have been uploading these on my second channel. However, over the last couple days, I'm just doing a full-on for 2025, going through your feedback, trying to fine-tune my content to get it in a great spot so we can have an awesome 2025. And a common one that was popping up is C4, we want the Eagles stuff back here on the main channel, back here live on pay-per-view, and that's what we're doing today. Battle of the backup quarterbacks, Philadelphia at home in the Kelly Greens, 41-7, belt to bum over the Dallas Cowboys, and a game that kind of had a chance. I, on the salads last night, had a prophecy that this game could become the Kenny Pickett game, all right? If you told me Philadelphia goes on to win a Super Bowl, maybe the game at home against Dallas in the Kelly Greens, where that backup that no one really wants to be a backup here in Kenny Pickett secured us the NFC East, secured us the 2 seed, and a couple home field games in the playoffs. That could look back like that Kelly Green, the iconic Kelly Green, that iconic Kelly Green Kenny Pickett could become a great piece of Eagles lore, great sick piece of merch to have in the future. For me right now, that Holy Grail is still a Jeff Garcia jersey. From the year that Donovan Nav got hurt, Jeff Garcia came in, steered the ship, got the Eagles in the playoffs. That's still iconic, and I'm missing that piece. But Kenny Pickett had a chance to have a Kenny Pickett game and get that lore opportunity. And then we finish with the Tanner McKee game. Now, on Kenny Pickett, I thought he played well. You know that Rockwell painting for the meme of like an unpopular opinion? My unpopular opinion is Kenny Pickett's a decent quarterback too. You can do a lot worse than Kenny Pickett as a quarterback too. He can come in and be a point guard and get the ball to our playmakers. That will be my hot take on that for the meme. Because on the other side, I 100% agree that trading for Kenny Pickett was kind of needless, because we all know, if you've watched Eagles preseason football, that Tanner McKee is a baller. Tanner McKee, once upon a time, was like almost a 5-star recruit at Stanford. He was a guy that a couple mock drafts around that time, he was going top 10. He was like a consensus first-round pick for a lot of early mock drafts when he was in college. Things did not work out. Stanford football program kind of fell off a cliff a little bit. Then he came to Philly. I don't know what he was, a 6th-round pick. But he's looked good in the preseason. He looks good enough in the preseason. I think a lot of fans, a lot of sickos are like, what would Tanner McKee look like with the starters? He's always playing and looking impressive in like cleanup duty in preseason games with guys that are going to be, at best, practice squad players. And we got to see today 2 touchdowns, 3 of 4, 54 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. And his first touchdown to A.J. Brown was a ridiculous ball. And while it is a little tongue-in-cheek, I think if you had every team going into the final game of the season have a quarterback battle, and you had Tanner McKee there, I'm not saying he's actually better than half the quarterbacks in the league, but quarterback situation, because there's a lot of guys that are banged up, a lot of backups playing. I bet you Tanner McKee would win like 5 or 6 quarterback battles and start next week. I think there's absolutely a player there, and we got to see him here. And I think there's a lot of fans justified that were screaming like, oh, Kenny Pickett's playing. Like, Kenny Pickett had a rib injury. That's why he actually left this game after a shot by Micah Parsons. And Tanner McKee came in, and it was awesome, man. Crowd was roaring for Tanner McKee. But I think Kenny Pickett played well. Should have had 2 passing touchdowns. One of them was Devontae Smith. Actually, his knee was down at the 1, and then they pushed Kenny Pickett in, finished with 2 tutties on the day. I'll give him a B just because he had an absolute football folly of a meme where he dropped back to pass. Now, the Cowboy player did get a hand on it, which I think kind of saves him a little bit of grace, and there was a penalty on the play by Dallas. So it negated the play, but Kenny Pickett literally looked like the football was 400 pounds, and I just, he missed it, go look at it. It was bad. So that will hurt him from getting an A. Tanner McKee, though, A+. And what I'm about to get to, which is going to be my main point of this video, if Tanner McKee and the Eagles decide to rest their starters and we can get Tanner McKee to start next week, I think that's kind of cool, because I really want to see him play meaningful snaps, but it would also not be perfect because he'd be playing with backups. I would love to see Tanner McKee, through a non-Jalen Hurts injury, get some more reps with the ones just to see what kind of potential he has. And I don't know why Philly doesn't agree with that said potential and constantly just, oh, we got to bring in Kenny Pickett. He should be outright the quarterback too, so we don't have a kind of expensive backup quarterback behind Jalen Hurts. Both quarterbacks played great in the battle of the quarterbacks, and I give them nice grades. But the tale of the tape here today, Mr. Saquon Barkley, 167 yards. He is 100 yards on the dot from tying the single-season rushing yard record. 101 from winning it. I am worried about this situation because Philly pulled Saquon Barkley. Saquon didn't play the whole 4th quarter pretty much. Against a bad run defense, he just started going to work. And I feel like there's a side of me that if they were going to let him get that record, he wouldn't have got it today, but he probably could have got another 30 and then made next week against New York if he's truly going to be allowed to go chase it, 50, 60, 70 yards. A lot more manageable. Now he has to go get 100, which is a good game. How I would treat the situation. I am usually a side of the fan base that says, who cares about the record? It's all about the Super Bowl. Let's go win a Super Bowl. But Nick Sirianni, being the player's coach, that's how we justify him being a value and an asset to this organization and not just the puppet for Howie Roseman really controlling everything for the team. I think you have to go ask everybody. Because if Saquon breaks this record, it's not just Saquon's record. It's Jeff Stoutland's record. Helps his legacy. It's everybody on that offensive line's legacy. Lane Johnson's legacy. Being a piece of the best single rushing season in NFL history. And for as much as a player coach as Nick Sirianni is, I think you have to let them decide. I don't think you overstep your bounds. I don't think you micromanage the situation. I think Nick Sirianni on Monday walks into Jeff Stoutland's office, Jalen Hurts or not, if he's playing this week, and he said, you guys want to get the record or not? You guys want to get the record, or do you want a free bye week this week and rest up for the playoffs and go on the Super Bowl run? Because I think they should decide it. And if they say they want to go get it, let's go get it. Because the story of being able to get that record against the New York Giants, win, lose, or draw in the playoffs, Super Bowl or not, that now becomes an iconic moment in Eagles history. That now becomes like a top 10 moment, especially given the context of the rivalry and the context of how Saquon Barkley became a Philadelphia Eagle. And the inverse of that is we've seen Saquon pull himself out of the game saying, let the young guys eat on all the unscripteds that get posted. It also wouldn't surprise me for Saquon to not really care about the record at the end of the day and be like, hey, if you kind of want us to rest and the O-line is cool with kind of taking this week off and getting ready for the playoffs, go with it. And if that is the decision, I think as a fan, I think us as fans, we got to come to an agreement there. But I think the ball needs to be the court of Saquon, Stout, and the offensive line. And if they want to go get it against New York, and they're determined, you might still be able to get that in the first half, and then check out. I'm definitely on the side of let's not run it up. If Saquon gets the record, yank him out of there, and then let's kind of clean up duty there. But I think that's how they need to approach it. And I would love to see the way that Nick Sirianni kind of handles this, because it's Sirianni. On one hand, could get a little bit of bonus points with the fans if he lets the team go get it and comes out and maybe says, the guys want to go get this record for Saquon, that's what we're doing. Honestly, I'll get bonus points. I'm still on the side. I don't care how many wins Nick Sirianni gets. My opinion on him as a coach, the lasting image, until he can win a Super Bowl, is Jason Kelce on the sidelines against the Bucs. He could have went 16-1 this year, and I would still be like, Nick Sirianni, remember what happened with Kelce? Like, that's all I think about. But if he does something like this for Saquon, it's going to improve his reputation. Then let's go on and get that Super Bowl. Because why don't we get both? Why does everyone kind of just come to the assumption that you can only get the record? And if you're going for the record for Saquon, you don't care about the Super Bowl, or you're risking the players' injury. Why don't we get both? Because what if we rest those players, and then we go on and win a Super Bowl? We're all going to be second-guessing, like, oh, man, would it be sick to have the record and the Super Bowl? Like, go get both, man. That is my official opinion. And it's going to be very, very interesting to see how Philadelphia handles this. But the rushing attack, to get the player grades, A+ Saquon Barkley. What a freaking player. As far as receiving, Devontae Smith went off. I wish I could check. Is he close to 1,000? 6, 120, 2 touchdowns. A.J. Brown got on the score sheet. Grant Calcaterra, 34-yard catch. One-handed. Ridiculous grab. If he could block, man, there'd be a player there. Unfortunately, he's a liability as a blocker. Because we're getting close to that time that we did with Zach Ertz. We were like, we should draft Dallas Goedert. So we had that tight end pipeline going. I think with Dallas Goedert's inability to stay on the field, a lot of Eagle fans are like, we're looking at Loveland. We're looking at Tyler Warren for the draft, like investing a first, second-round pick in tight end again. Calcaterra is a great receiver. And in theory, the talent is there for him to be a game changer and maybe be that successor to Dallas Goedert. But god damn it, he can't block. Like every time Saquon gets tackled down the line, it's like you can just see Calcaterra laying on the ground. But what he brings, I mean, I would say the inverse of that is maybe you don't have to invest a high pick in a tight end, because Calcaterra can give you Goedert's receiving ability, and then maybe we go find like the best blocking tight end, and then you kind of pair the two to replace Dallas Goedert. I thought that's what we had with Calcaterra and Jack Stahl, but that's for a different video. Ultimately, receivers did a good job, not a lot of bad drops, and I hope, even though I should probably have double checked, I hope Smitty got close to 1,000 or has a chance to get 1,000 this year, because it'd be cool for him and AJ to both go over 1,000. Defensively, great showing here today. as always, Zach Bond continues just to make plays. Cooper DeJean makes plays. Quinyon Mitchell will just never get an interception. Brutal for him. I still think he should. I mean, he has probably played his 2 worst games. These last 2 games, got beat by Scary Terry last week, got beat this week by, Jalen Tolbert. But I still think, probably deserving of Defensive Rookie of the Year. We got a half sack from Booker, half sack Jeremiah Trotter. I think that was more. I think Rush just fell to the ground on that one. CJ, GJ, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Y'all know my thoughts on him. One of my favorite players on the Eagles. Shout out Florida Gators. He gets 2 picks on the day, brings him to 6 on the season. He was only 1 off the league. So that's another guy. Maybe give him a little bit. You probably get a juicy Drew Lock interception next week. Maybe even 2 to take the interception leader. But hey, a lot of people were dogging him early during the bad stretch. He's been one of our best players. He's the toughness and mentality. Really CJ, GJ, Jalen Carter, Sidney Brown. Those are the players you need on your defense. And the fact that last time Chauncey Gardner-Johnson was here as a starter, 6 picks, goes to Detroit, comes back, 6 picks again. Awesome, awesome player. Very happy that he's on this team. Outstanding defense. You only give up 7 points. Now, first quarter was pretty bad. A lot of yards. A long drive, a lot of yards. Then we get the pick 6, and then Dallas gets the ball. Long drive, a lot of yards. But then they basically set up shop for the whole second half. Ultimately, I think we got to give the defense an A for effort here today. Game ball clearly is going to go to Saquon Barkley, but I love to think in cleanup here. What is your guys' take on the Saquon Barkley record? Do you kind of agree with what I say? It's ideally, if we can control the variables, Sirianni goes ask Saquon and the O-line, do you want to go get it or do you want to rest? That is my opinion. What they say goes. But I'd love to hear what you guys think. Do you think you just overrule anything and rest these guys next week? Or do you say we go full bore, let's go get that record against New York? One of those people, if they get hurt, they're going to get hurt anyways. You can't play scared in case of injury. Just go play your game. Let's win next week, get the record, and then go on a deep playoff run. I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comment section below. But anyways, that will do it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. As always, your first time stopping by, we will have Eagles content here going forward on the main channel. So hit that subscribe button, smash the like button if it's fly, Eagles fly. And I'll see you guys back in the next one. Till next time, it's your boy C4 saying peace out, love ya. Have a good one.